Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Game number 2. Victor, snp4. Me, Boit, you, AOM fan. Living the dream. Why does no one listen to me? Chop the bloody wood down first. You get so many more resources. Everything is better if you chop the wood down first. This is why I'm bald. It's just... It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Fine. Okay, so Victor, Odin, and so too is snp4. Victor taking the first game in decisive fashion on Uranus versus Ra on Alfheim. Clinic. Absolute clinic. Game number 2 now, we see the Odin mirror. So we'll see how this is going to go. Victor does have some pretty wild ideas about Odin, but it's not looking like he's going for them. Yeah, okay. Trains the villager. Good. I was like, why are you not training a villager? You must have forgot. And it's all good. snp4 getting out his second dwarf now. Both players chopping long distance, chopping down one tree with one villager. What are these builds and why do they both do them? These are weird builds. These EE players. I can't explain it. There's nothing like super bad about having only one villager doing this and walking long distance. It's just that it seems like there's no reason for it. But we'll see how it's going to go. Both players should be advancing really, really quickly in this matchup. Generally speaking, you have to advance fast to win. And if you advance fast here, you get going, you get put pressure on. And you live the dream. Okay, Temple coming up for Victor. Temple coming up for snp4. It looks like Victor's already got the food to advance, but his Temple is too late here. Not sure exactly why that is. It is what it is. And now the Temple is finished up here for snp4. He's going to be able to advance. No, he needs to get his ox cart still. So even after all of the weirdness from the early game, it's still strange. Ravens coming in, and we see the Freya coming down for Victor. He's actually opting to advance much, much later here, which is a surprise to me. But the ox cart coming out onto the wood line, as well as a dwarf. And yeah, Victor is essentially just opting to go 5 dwarf when he could have advanced, which is obviously a thing. Why not? Why not? So popping out for snp4, and he's going to be starting his production fairly soon. Now, the interesting thing about this matchup is how important are throwing axemen here? Because can you just go like full raiding cavalry and be okay? We do have the... Oh, we got the Eye of Ornlu here as well. This is actually a really big relic for this matchup. 5% extra throwing axeman damage turns out to be a kind of a big deal. As we do see the Valkyrie coming forward. Victor with nothing just yet. He does have an exposed gold mine. He's going to be moving over here onto this zebra. So he might need to send his Hearser over there to defend that one, as the Valkyrie does have her eyes set on moving over here straight away. Meanwhile, snp4 is still eating his home food and chopping down the smallest forest you've ever seen. A 3-tree forest. Why not? Double longhouse going in with the raiding cavalry. I don't think it's worth it to go a handful of Ulfsark first in this matchup before going in with raiding cavalry, because that way you can put a lot of pressure on. We do see the forest fire getting cast onto that wood line as the Valkyrie getting pulled back, and with the villagers moving up to the top side to get onto this wood as well. And some raiding cavalry going to be coming out. Victor, a little bit, well, he's actually in front on the population right now, as these villagers are finishing up over here. And Victor's got 7 villagers on wood here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for, if he's just trying to get a whole bunch more wood straight away to get all of the buildings up, and then he's going to jump over onto the hippopotamus. That could be his idea here, but you definitely don't want too many villagers on wood. For example, at this point now that snp4 has gotten all his longhouses, you can actually take 2 villagers off wood now and just chuck them onto food, especially onto a map like Watering Hole where there's a ton of food. You don't have to get husbandry. It can be really, really strong to do that. Victor is maybe looking for a second town center with this. This is incredibly greedy. And we do see the villagers, or sorry, the raiding cavalry going to be kind of passing by each other, as Victor is looking for a little bit of a fight here as snp4 comes in onto these villagers here. If you're Victor here, turn around and shank these raiding cavalry for sure. As Victor's just going to sit in the middle of the map. We do see these raiding cavalry going to try and take down these villagers here, but instead decide to turn around. And Victor now taking the fight with the villagers, and all of those raiding cavalry will end up dying, but one villager ending up falling in all of the mess. So for the trade of a Valkyrie as well, that's not worth. Meanwhile, Victor's still in the middle of the map, sniping down units that are moving forward here. Completely in the head of snp4 thus far. Now snp4 coming with his own raiding cavalry, going to be hitting the enemy raiding cavalry as they simply sneak by, looking after these villagers, going to try and take those out. And these raiding cavalry do end up falling here as well. We do see the forest fire coming down, and there's going to be 4 villager kills. That is absolutely beautiful there from Victor. Oh, he doesn't get 4. I thought that villager would die for sure. Gets 2 villager kills there, but even just the simple fact that he brings more than 1 Valkyrie to forest fire means he gets a villager kill. And then that's a much better way to use forest fire. Come on, guys. Let's all learn from Victor. Imagine using forest fire like Victor. That's what we're going to make the new phrase. and Victor's going to take this advantage now and get this town center. He's got 700 wood in the bank. What's his plan for this wood? Take the villagers off. You've got all of this food here to eat, and then be spamming units again. Victor's going to get his second town center up. He's going to be completely fine with it. There is a slight population advantage now for snp4, and the longhouses are coming down. Throwing accent, raiding cavalry coming out. Might have to actually get watchtowers. There's no safe second gold mine here for Victor. It's all forward. There is one that's over here, and there might be one in this corner here. I'm not 100% sure. But this gold mine here seems to be the only real close gold mine. So if snp4 can put a whole bunch of pressure on right now, kill off these houses and start taking aim at this gold mine, might be tough for Victor to get the value he wants out of this hometown center here. As we just see the old Sark coming in, going to be taking these villagers off of this location as the watchtowers do come through. Victor could get himself crenellations now as snp4 gets a couple of kills, and then he's going to be retreating away. But even after all of this is said and done, Victor's 2 town centers now. He's gotten roughly the same amount of population. 90 population, 90 population. And why is snp4 not 7? It's like Victor's 700 resources in front here. Just straight 700 resources in front. I can't put my finger on how that even happened. I mean, there was the early game raiding cavalry Valkyrie losses. Let me have a look here if we jump onto here. Boom. Units lost. Losses. I want losses. I would say that's about, is that about 700 resource difference? We got 400 to 600, 900, 1,000. It is. Just about. So that's why Victor can afford the town center. snp4 gets his own town center now, though. 110 population for Victor, so he's going to be making a big push in, taking this fight, trying to micro a little bit. But with the throwing axe, when those Ulfsark will get melted. This is a really, really nice composition for the Victor in this moment. But the question is really, can he find anything with it? And it's looking like the answer is no, and he's going to have to retreat at this point. Oh, stray Ulfsark? Hello? No, let him live. Yeah, let him live. We do have medium upgrades, though, for snp4, so we might actually be able to take this fight now, even though he is not with that concave. Those throwing axemen are going to go to town. But he's going to take it. We do see the medium raiders come through here. Victor does not have the medium infantry, though, but I don't think it matters because those throwing axemen are not taking any damage. They are just dealing the deeps. We do have the Valkyrie getting targeted down by one Ursa, and it will end up falling in this game, it seems, as Victor is trying his best to get to the next age here. A little bit of a advantage for Victor here thus far in the population, 95 to 76, and the villager count roughly equal here as well. And it does look like, in that moment, it seemed like Victor was trying to retreat when he definitely was winning that fight, but snp4 rightly decides to retreat there himself. And now Victor is essentially 7 dwarves and the rest gatherers. This is part of what he came up. He essentially was the guy that came up with the no dwarf build. But what actually ends up being the best way to do this, no dwarf build, is actually going 7 dwarves. It seems. This is what you do with Loki of late, where you go 7 dwarves and then you go gatherers onto food. So this is kind of what Victor is coming up with here. And you compare it to, say, snp4, who's got 11 dwarves. And that's the difference, really. All right, snp4 retreating back. Really just moving forward onto the hippopotamus here. As the throwing axemen throwing their axes, but retreating back, still trying to hold on here. It's now throwing axemen versus throwing axemen, raiding cavalry versus raiding cavalry. So the fights here are going to be really, really even if, well, not like that. Don't fight like that. They're going to be even if the raiding cavalry cannot attack the enemy throwing axemen. Valkyrie spawns big here, or not spawns, but building the Valkyrie at this point, very big here. Victor getting close to being able to advance. Economic upgrades, not with the shaft mine, is a bit of a mistake from Victor. Same thing for snp4, definitely invest in that. We're seeing more and more of these units falling. Victor, again, retreating when he is hard winning. I don't understand. He's hard winning these fights, but he's continuously retreating. The raiders coming back in, going to be sniping down these units as best as they possibly can. We do have Shield Maiden Valkyrie coming in here for Victor. He might actually want to retreat back and try and heal those back up. It's actually quite strong. But Victor still has the advantage here. He's still trying to pump out units. He's got himself 4 longhouses. He might want to get a couple more. He's got 5 longhouses though. Still might want to get a couple more. Does he have an armory out? He does have his armory, so he can click up fairly soon, whereas snp4 very much behind here. Oh, that's a spicy town center grab. I would have thought... Was he advancing as well? Nope. Don't want to advance. I thought going Scouty there was... heroic age there was much, much better, but there is the idea that this matchup essentially just boils down to Ragnarok and clicking Ragnarok last. So getting early heroic age doesn't really matter. Just get your town centers and try and chase whatever tech your opponent does. Right now it's equal villager count though. snp4 is caught up on on everything here as the villagers retreating away and the fighting is ensuing. It's Shield Maiden Valkyrie for both players. More units are coming in here to fight. The villagers swinging around the back. They might start shanking these throwing Hacksmen, which might give Victor a slight advantage. He's got a lot of resources in the bank, still trying to sit with a lot of production, but he needs more buildings. He needs to advance as well now, but he's choosing not to, leaving that settlement behind there as well. The villagers are getting picked off. 110 pop for Victor to 101 pop for snp4, as the town center will continue to go up here, it seems, as the units returning back onto it. We still haven't seen Victor click up yet. I'm confused as to why. How the armory upgrades looking? Non-existent for both players. Oh, we got copper shields in a Norse war, which doesn't have trolls. There is the Bogsviger. You don't have to worry about the Bogsviger. Preemptively worrying about the Bogsviger, and also town centers, I guess. But in the end, Victor does get his town center up. He is clicking up through Skadi. And snp4, on the other hand, is currently farming. Farms in the classical age. Come on, guys. Farms in the classical age. It's not good. Armory now coming up for snp4. As he wants to advance as well. Victor with tons of gold in the bank. Did he actually end up building some more dwarves? He's still 7 dwarves. Still 7 dwarves. Got 69 gatherers and 7 dwarves. Why not? Who needs dwarves? It costs too much gold. Also Victor with 2,700 gold. More longhouses coming up now for Victor as he's trying to set up. I imagine we just see an immediate market in the corner here. Or over here. And then you start your trade route and you go to the Mythic Age. Live the dream. There's a hill fort coming up on this town center as well. As snp4 is very, very far behind on the score. But I think it's just because he's advancing. He's going to catch up a lot. But Victor's also, his score is also super inflated because of holding on to 3,000 gold. There's the market coming up for Victor. We do see the raiding cavalry coming in here. Going to try and take down these villages as best as they can. Got Victor walking in here as well. Looking for some sort of a fight. There's the Skadi coming through for... Holy frost! How many villages did you get? Only that many. Not as many as I thought. Going after this town center, splitting up his raiders, looking for some raids on the home town center, trying to get as little value as he can out of Frost, forcing that as best as he can. And there it is. There's the Frost. As a raiding cavalry, going to be looking for some villages, and they will indeed spot this, or at least spot the town center going up. So we're going to choose to pick off those infantry units instead, going after the villages on this location as well. Town center going to live for a little bit longer. As is Victor advancing? Not just yet. He does get the market up in the corner. Again, with a little bit of a gap. Doesn't matter. At least he made the effort there. So we will be seeing a Mythic Age fairly soon, or in fact we are seeing a Mythic Age right now. How are the armory upgrades looking? Full bronze or copper there for Victor, and just copper mail for snp4 thus far. 77 villages to 79 villages. So even with all the advantage here for Victor, it's still going to be a close Ragnarok if snp4 can get to the Mythic Age here. But the problem is, where does he get gold? There's no good gold mine for snp4 here in this game. Thanks so much for the tier 1, King Surdic. Appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to be taking down these throwing axemen as well. Retreating back. So we do see snp4 moving forward again, but he's still not able to click up. I don't know if he's got a market yet. This town center has been denied. Heavy Raiders is in. Victor retreating back yet again. Not ready to take this fight. And there's the Mythic Age for Victor, casting the immediate Ragnarok here, jumping up to 327 population. And in that moment, Victor does, or snp4 does tap out, and Victor wins this series in a decisive 2-0, indecisive 2-0 fashion here. Well played by Victor. snp4 showing no match for him as Victor, fresh off the win against Scardy, ready to conquer the entire tournament here. I believe we're going to be moving on to the semi-final very, very shortly here. But what a game from Victor. What a series. What a run thus far. We're going to keep following them. If you guys enjoyed these games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.